Welcome back to my art studio. This is Julie, the girl with a brush, and today I am working on Junk Journal January 2024, and I'm going to combine prompts 19 and 20. And the reason that I'm going to combine 19 and 20 is because I started preparing some things for interactive so that you didn't have to watch me stamp and glue. And I realized that it was a nature theme. So I've got a double page here, and I'm going to work on both of them, okay? So the first thing that I did, and again, you didn't have to watch me do this, I put down this green piece of paper, and I want to show you a trick, because I know that everybody that uses Tim Holtz distress inks or oxides, we love those little wooden handled spreaders like this. Well, I found it, but not when I needed it. So I'm going to show you my trick. What I've done is I've started buying more of the smaller distress ink than the larger one, because you get like 4 colors for a couple of dollars more. And you know, every time you see somebody use one of the colors, you're like, oh, I don't have that color. So now I've got this stack of them, and all I do is stack them together, and then I take the top off, and I'm going to do it on this card. And I do this. So this kind of reminds me, I'm going to date myself, of, remember those pencils, those colored pencils with all the little nibs, and you could like move the nibs around until you got the color that you wanted. And so I just kind of do that. And there we go. It makes it really easy. And I put the top back on. And if I want the next color, I just break it apart and I rotate it around. So it's a quick and easy way to do that. What I have decided that I'm doing, and I think I'm going to put it on this page. I'm going to move this aside for a minute. I am going to do a waterfall. And I'm doing it with specimen cards. And let me just show you what I've got here. So these are my specimen cards, and I'll put some stuff on this one while I'm talking. And what I have done actually is I've taken an old legal size file folder, and I cut it into pieces about the size that I thought I wanted my specimen card to be. And then you can see, rounded the corners with my corner rounding tool. And I put some paper, this ledger looking paper from a scrapbook ream of paper that I had, a packet, I mean. And then I took, and these are Tim Holtz stamps, and they came with a stencil, and I don't remember the number, but I know that a lot of people are using them, and most everyone has seen them. And if you have a question, put it in the comments, and I can link you to the stamp set on Ranger or Amazon or something if you can't find it. But what I do want to do, I left this one, identification check. That one is not stamped yet, and I was going to stamp it on a couple of them. So, you know, I put the butterflies are from one of those little packs of Tim Holtz, those little decorations that he has. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember, but you know, it's the little pack, and you get flowers or bugs or whatever, people, I don't know. So here we go. Identification check, and I have a piece of paper under this because I don't care if it goes on it or over the butterfly. Everybody's going to get something. And that's all I did with these. I just kind of went around in a circle and I stamped them with something. And let me stamp this off. This is StazOn, so it's archival ink, so I don't wipe the stamp off. I just stamp it one more time. In case you're wondering, like, oh, she didn't clean that. I know there are people that don't clean stamps and stencils. If I use the Distress ink or the oxides, I do clean them. But for this, the archival ink and the StazOn, I don't. Let's see. Let's kill two birds here. Okay. Now, I've seen a lot of videos of people making these specimen cards, and I'm going to tell you, I'm taking these specimen cards, and then I am, stamp that off. I am turning it into a waterfall, which is one of those things that I'm not a card maker. It's one of those things that card makers do. And the video that I watched is from My Porch Prints, and I will put her video down below. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things that I really liked about her was she said, I don't really measure. I really get it as good as it needs to be. And I love that because sometimes I don't measure. So I'm an English teacher and I always say I don't do math. So if you like measurements and something more precise, there are a lot of waterfall videos. But I will link to the one that I watched that was very easy to follow. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I did. I cut this strip of paper, and her description for the measurement was to cut it a little smaller than your card. So you can see here, it's a little smaller. I loved that. Also, you can make the cards any size that you want. Now, she has specimen cards for sale on her website. So she didn't show to make the specimen cards. I just did a bunch of stamping. So I cut the strip, and this is 12 inches long. So this is from a paper packet. I just cut whatever this size was. I put a pencil mark. I sliced it. I folded it in half, and I matched the edges. Okay. And then what I did, once I folded in half, and you can see that I've already folded it because you don't need to watch me fold, but she said to go about 1/4 of an inch. So I told you I don't like to measure, but I did kind of use a ruler, and I'll tell you what I did. I set the fold right here. So it, by a whole number. This is 8. See, if that bends your brain, you could put it back at the beginning, but I set it at 8, and then I folded this. I kind of creased it with my nail at about 1/4, and I folded it, and then I brought the other side up, okay? And then I folded it back and forth, and what you want is one fold for every specimen card that you have. And I have 6 cards, and I think I did like 8 folds, so I also didn't follow the rules. I'm not always good at following the rules when it comes to this artsy-fartsy stuff. Other things in life, yes, but this, not necessarily. So the other thing that she said after you get your folds is fold them backwards and forwards. So then I went in and I folded it the opposite way. Okay? And now you have this loosey-goosey thing, like if you are one of those people that has like the die cut to make the rosettes, it kind of looks like that. You might even be able to use that. I don't know. It's possible. You can measure the space. But there it is. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half again. And this first card, I have to decide which one goes on top. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to do this one. Okay. The first card, and I hope that you can see this, is going to be glued right here and leave a tiny little bit. I don't know if you can see this piece of paper. See how there's just a little bit of that green? Like a little bit. Hopefully that's in focus and you can see that. And what I decided that I was going to do is use my favorite thing, which is this skinny double-sided tape. Now, what she said was you need to be above the next fold and just below the top fold. So I've got that on there, and usually I would put the tape on my card, but for this one I put the tape onto this because I think it will be better. And so I'm going to do my usual little trick here of pulling only half of it up, and I hope this isn't hard for you to see. I'm going to leave just a little bit sticking out. And I'm going to push down this side and I'm going to hold it and then I'm going to unzip there. Okay. And now I have one. Okay. And then, and I had to go back and watch the video again. So don't be afraid if you have to do that, because I was like, do I skip a fold? Do I do the next fold? You go right below it again. So literally like right below it. Oops. Well, there you go. Tried to fix it and I ripped it off. That's okay. We'll put something on there so it looks like we meant to do that. All right. Now I'm going to push this down. And pull up a side. Now it's important, well, I guess two things. I'm kind of go this way. You want to leave a little space of your underneath paper, and we want to get these lined up and keep them straight. Okay, so this way I started on this side. Now I'm going that way. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it over. I have to color that. The card's going to cover it, but I had to color it. Okay. And then I'm going to do this. And this is the skinny tape from the dollar store. So I think it's 1/4 inch. But remember when I told you that I was really glad that this lady didn't make me measure anything? So I think it's 1/4 inch, but we're at skinny tape from the dollar store. Okay, so we're doing another one. We're leaving a tiny bit. And the reason you have to leave that little bit of paper is she said that you have to do that like to leave room for it to fold, because it's gonna do something amazing if I did it right. And if I didn't, then the entire YouTube world gets to watch me fail miserably. But you know, that's what life's all about. It's always better if you get it on camera, right? Okay. Got another one. I'm going to do the same spacing. Oh, it looks like the spacing might be off, but hey, it's okay. All right. I can't remember which way I went. failed again. Okay, and the other thing that I did was I just watched her video and made all the parts, and I didn't try one of these first. So when I say that this could fail, I'm really not kidding. So I was going to speed this up, but it may just be better to like enjoy this moment while I still think that I'm successful. Okay, we have one more. I'm telling you, this tape is a game changer. I can't imagine gluing this little stuff. Thank goodness for the dollar store for this. I don't even care that they raised it $0.25. That's how much I love it. All right, now. Are we ready? I'm sweating a little. I think she had more cards than I did. So we're going to do something to fix it, but you're supposed to push it and it goes. And it worked! Look! And then you pull it back. Ah! Okay. I mean, you have to pause it so you can do a happy dance. Look at it. Ah! Okay, I'm so excited. All right, sorry. I'll regain my composure. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I've got some extra paper down here and I don't need all of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a circle. And somebody's going to ask me what size the circle is. I think this circle is 1 inch. This circle is, oh, it's not. It's like an 1/8 smaller than 1 inch. It's crazy. So 7/8. There we go. All right. Remember, I'm not a math teacher. So what I'm going to do is, and this is what she did, but then I'm wondering, okay, hold on. Maybe I can just do this. Don't you love it when you just like, you know, you see somebody else's video and now it worked and now I'm feeling all brave, right? She had a really cute little circle, but I'm going to try this. Okay. There's a point. So let's see. Yeah, she did that. Do I need this? I do. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick it with this. But before I do that, I'm going to take my little cheater thing here. Isn't this great? Okay, if somebody is excited about this and you try this and you are happy, please tell me. Comment, like, subscribe, all those things that you say, right? I know. Okay, all right, so here we go. I don't know. It's not as sexy as I wanted it to be, but let's see. So now what she did was she cut it off about here. And then this part has to be glued down, but why glue when you have this? I love this stuff. You know how people like do giveaways when they have so many subscribers? I'm not in that category at all. I am small time crazy craft lady, but they should give away this tape. Everybody should get a roll of this. It should be like, I remember when I bought my first house, you know, they had that like group of people that came around the neighborhood and they brought you coupons for everything and they like came to visit you, and I'm really dating myself. Well, I think that when you stick your creative flag in the sand, somebody should show up with some double stick tape for you and a Stabilo all pencil. Okay, I did that. And now I've got this, which is the paper that I used here. I kind of should measure, you know. Right. Oh, I lifted it up too fast. Just past the middle there. Okay, and you guessed it. I do love my matte medium. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I do love matte medium. But this little tape, and all these pieces might be overkill, but you know. My 23-year-old son, who is a robotics engineer, you know, and has very linear thoughts about things. And he does math. He would be horrified, but he's going to inherit all of my art journals. So I need to make sure that everything sticks forever. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah. All right. We took a little break here because my husband, who's my editor, was sitting by me, and as I was pushing this and celebrating my little win here, we both realized that this wasn't working flawlessly, okay? So here's what happened. I got really excited, and I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 extra folds. Now I know why the lady that didn't measure said make as many folds as you have cards. I just kept folding. And if you do that, then your paper doesn't slide well. So I took another piece of paper and I doubled it. This is a little bit thicker paper. It's not cardstock, but it's like it's a really good like linen bond actually. And I doubled it and I put it on there. And now you'll see it slides better. Okay, so I made the mistake so that you don't have to. So don't do that. Make as many folds as you have cards and then stop. So that is what we learned here. The other thing that the lady that I watched, she put a little arrow. Let me see. She put a little arrow, like so you know where to push. So I'm going to try to draw. I mean, an arrow, right? How hard can that be? So that you know where to interact and what direction. I gotta let that dry, but basically now that I did that, you'll see it goes a lot smoother. Woohoo! Alrighty, so that is you know, interactive, and we got the nature thing going on. So what I want to do now is I want to shift over to this page, and I want to do a few things. First of all, I want to take a piece of this paper that was my specimen card paper. And of course, I don't know what size they were, so, but I have more room on this other card, so I'm gonna make it up. That looks good. The bottom isn't exactly straight. Okay, And then I'm not backing this with something because I'm going to glue this down. If I were going to back it or going to do something else with it, I would put something thicker on it. Don't you hate when the punch won't do what you want? I think sometimes there's something stuck in there, or most of the time I put it in wrong. Look at that. Isn't it terrible that I have to do it myself? Okay, so here we go. Now, what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to do, you know, some of that stamping. I think that actually I'm going to stick this down and then I am going to stamp, because then it will look like, you know, a field journal or something, because I can stamp over the edges without worrying. But before I do that in my bumpy journal, I have to be smart. I have these bird stamps. And I have my Tim Holtz stamps. Now these bird stamps are just from the dollar store. Tim Holtz, should I do a bug? What should I do? I think I want to do a bird. Let's do a bird. All right. Okay. I'm going to leave that open for 1 minute. Usually I close it right away. Okay, we need a flat spot. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to actually close this. And I have a red archival ink. And, oh, wait, let me glue it down. I'm getting excited. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, I just put tape on this. The prompt for this one should have been double-sided tape, because I'm owning it here. All right, I'm going to put it. Oh, nope. I'm glad I saw that. Let's do these edges. I was looking at it and thinking, it sort of disappears into the page. We don't want that. And we don't want those white edges. Okay. I wish this bird were looking the other way, but I'm just going to go with it. Okay. So there we go. Now we've got him there. Or her. Whatever she is. And I'm going to stamp this. And I am going to stamp this one. This says filed. There we go. And got some green. I'm gonna do this one. This is a Distress Oxide bundled sage. It's very light, and I knew that, but I still did it. Okay, let's see what else we have. Let's see what we have in the stack. Ooh, that could be fun. Weathered wood. I thought I had a peachy yellow. Let's try this. And this is just really random, you know, because I think if you're thinking about a field journal, like, it's not going to be something that a lot of thought is put into, like where everything needs to be stamped. That's a different green. The one below this, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. Peachy pink. This says this side up. I'll try not to put it upside down. There we go. And I don't even mind that they're a little bit lighter, because I think that that makes it look a little distressed. So I'm going to put my little tower back, and I've got all of that. And then what I want to do is I want to take this piece that I had left. I'm trying to make a triangle. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. And my crocodile, because it would be a better hole. Oh yeah, that's better. That's really what I need. You can see through the top of it so that you can line it up. Okay, now I have 2 holes. And then what I have, because I live in the woods, I have this feather. And there's actually a big feather and a little feather. And I want to stick it right here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to distress the ends of this. And let's tape it on, because I'm just about taped today. All right, so what's going to happen, hopefully this will hold. This was just laying outside. I think about right there. I got 2 feathers. And I could turn it if I want to turn it. If I turn it, I can't really see that little one. Oh, and then it goes like, kind of off into the middle of the page. I don't want that. Okay, so we're going to turn it back the way I had it. I like the stripes on this side of the feather anyway. Gotta give this little feather a makeover. All right, and then I need something in the corner there. I'm going to stamp, I have these ferns got these at the dollar store. I'm sure somebody has Barnes, but dollar store. Favorite thing here, stamping in a full journal with uneven places. Hey, that's pretty good. Whoops. I just felt like I needed a few things here if we're gonna own the whole nature thing. Well, let me get this corner. Well, that wasn't lovely. I really want one across here, but you know it's not going to happen. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's see if we can just get, like, an edge here. Or not. The stamp gods are saying, no, we are done. Okay, I'll agree with them. Okay, I'm going to wipe some of this off this time. I just use a paper towel or a baby wipe, whichever one is handy. And make sure you close those archival inks. All right, so here we go. Interactive and nature. And I tore the two things out and put them in a safe place. So they might be on the ground, but here we go. This is day 19 and day 20 of Junk Journal January. And I hope that you enjoyed watching. And if you learned something or you were inspired, please consider liking and subscribing. And stay warm out there and have a good night.